Hello, once again, everybody. On behalf of the All-Star Football Officials Association Training Committee, I'd like to welcome you to our 7th video for the 2021 season. This video is going to be a little bit shorter than most, mainly because I only got 2 game films from coaches this past week, so they're being a little stingy, not wanting to share, but that's okay. We got some good stuff to talk about, especially as we're getting deep into the season. We're getting region games. We're getting some rivalries and stuff like that. Just want to remind you, make sure we're good dead ball officials. We don't miss. Let's make sure we don't miss obvious stuff, late hits, punches, kicks, any of the unsportsmanlike stuff. Let's be good with that. Make sure we nip that in the bud. We don't want games to get away from us and end up in a fight on the field. So if we show good presence out there, we're good dead ball officials, we're taking care of things, we're communicating with the coaches, we can alleviate a lot of the problems that we run into in some of these tight ball games and some of these games that are matched up two teams that don't really like each other. So that in mind, I got a couple plays there and then a kind of unusual punt play at the end we talk about. But let's go ahead and jump right into them. All right, this play. Let's talk a little bit, a couple things about um, unsportsmanlike conduct. So as we get, and I'm not going to go into all the different kinds and do you warn them this, that, and the, I'm not getting into a bunch of stuff, but but what I will get into is just tell you a couple things. We this particular game, and as games get tight, region games, and we know teams dislike each other. You just got to know that going in. So let's have that discussion pregame. Make sure we're good dead ball officials. We're keeping our eyes on everything. Anytime we've got two teams together, especially if we got to run out of bounds, let's make sure we're getting over there, separating players, all that kind of stuff. It gets very important this time of year. So, excuse me. That being said, let's make sure we nip all that stuff in the bud before it happens. That way, we're not, third quarter we've let stuff slide, and then a brawl breaks out, and then we're totally we've lost it completely, and the game's out of control. So I say that as this play goes. This is, matter of fact, yeah, this is the second play of the game, or second play from scrimmage anyway. See, he's gone, turns around, gives a little waves bye bye. Yeah, we can't have that. So good job, nails it. We've got a flag for unsportsmanlike. Excuse me, we back that up, but see right here is plain as day, right there, waves. You can't have that. So again, good job getting it. But let's talk a little bit specifically this play about enforcement. Now, this happens during a live ball. Yes, this happens during a live ball. We got a flag down before he scores and all that, but that really doesn't matter. So we let the play just play out. We let it play out. Touchdown. That's it. But keep in mind that all unsportsmanlike fouls are live balls. If they're live balls, they're treated as dead balls. And if same thing if they're dead, they happen during a dead ball period. Well, obviously then they're dead balls. But unsportsmanlike, remember we're always treating that as a live ball treated as a dead ball. Now, with that being said, remember, let's say we had a foul on the defense for something, a block below waist back here. So this will be on the offense. Remember, those don't offset. Live, even though they're both technically live balls, a sportsmanlike here would be a live ball treated as a dead ball. So let's say at line of scrimmage, we had a face mask, something on the defense. We would not offset them. We would enforce the live ball foul. Then we would come back and enforce this unsportsmanlike conduct that would be treated as a dead ball. So just please keep that in mind as we're going forward. That live ball treated as dead ball is not going to offset a live ball. Or if the offense had a hold, let's say the offense got called for holding back here, and we back them up half the distance or whatever. As soon as we did that, we would still also enforce this unsportsmanlike conduct. So this wouldn't be a multiple foul situation either. So just keep that in mind as far as enforcement goes. And again, this play scored a touchdown, so we're not taking the touchdown off the board. The offended team, in this case the defense, has the option to either have the penalty enforced on the try or the subsequent kickoff. In this case, they elected to enforce it on the try, backed them up 15, and it saved them a point because the offense missed the try for point. So again, good job. Just keep that in mind. They don't have to take it on the try. They don't have to take it on the kickoff. Make sure we give them that option. Don't just assume they're going to take it off on the kickoff, or don't just assume they're going to take it on the try. Make sure we're giving the coach that option. But again, just going back to the main point, let's make sure we get this. If we pass on it and just say, he's just whatever. If we don't get this and enforce it, number 4 here is going to have a target on his back the entire game. And at some point, they'll get even for what he did here. So let's nip that in the bud. Remember, we'll put a counter on him. Number 4 will have an unsportsmanlike. If he does something again, another unsportsmanlike foul, he gets his second unsportsmanlike of the game. Remember, at that point, he will have disqualified himself from the game. So make sure when we do get unsportsmanlike fouls, we know the numbers, we write them down, we tell the coaches, both coaches, so they're aware of it. And if it happens again, let's make sure we double check. Hey, that was 4. Yep, we already had them earlier, and we disqualify them. So again, let's make sure we verify that with the coaches and with the crew, because you might say it's on 4, and the referee goes over there and tells them it was 24 or something like that, and then we're just on 2 different pages. So very important. Anytime we have stuff like that, let's make sure all the officials and the coaches are on the same page here, so we know we have a counter. We've got everything on the right guy. But good job by this crew. Enforced it correctly, and kept anything bad from happening unnecessarily later in the game. All right, so in this play, we talked a little bit about the last play. We talked about unsportsmanlike penalties and how we need to be good dead ball officials. But in this case, we're going to show you the reason why we need to be good dead ball officials for a personal foul. So as this plays out, I want you to watch action here. Leave this player right here coming in. Keep an eye on him. Ball goes dead. I'm sorry, I told you wrong. Yeah, well, it was him. Okay, so keep your eye right here. This play right here, we'll go slow motion. I want you to watch. All right, so ball's dead right here. Okay, so we're killing it. We're coming in, and you see a little stomp. Hope everybody saw that. I'll back it up again. Yeah, watch it right here. Ball's dead, and he comes in and just stomps on the guy. Totally pointless. Does it anyway. Steps on him. I was told it's hard to tell, but he actually steps on him somewhere up around the head and neck area. So stomps on him. Good news is, crew were good dead ball officials. We saw it here. The deep guy here saw it, and again, we may have seen it from several fields. I know we did have 2 flags on it, so we've got to be heads up. Again, wing guys coming in, you're getting the spot and everything, but you've got to see. We've got a lot of potential here. We got a big pile up right here. We got this going on, and again, this is the kicker coming down. So not expecting much, just kind of ho hum where he tackles him, and all of a sudden he does that cheap stuff right there. Now that we cannot miss that. We cannot miss that, and that's really about the best I can tell you. We've got to get this kind of stuff. If we don't see this and we don't flag this for a personal foul, a dead ball, in this case, dead ball personal foul right here, and we don't get it, and the other team clearly sees it, we got nothing. This, I'm telling you, this guy is not gonna. It ain't gonna be good for him. They will figure out a way to come back and even the score. And if that happens, it just gets bad. It spirals out of control, and that's how we lose control of stuff. So great job again by this crew. They see this. This isn't a talking to. This isn't just a personal foul. Not necessarily a kick, but a stomp. That he's ejected. He's gone, and the crew pretty quickly and pretty easily. We had two people, at least two people that saw it pretty quickly, easily came in, told him, hey, that's an ejectable offense. So they again disqualified him, or he disqualified himself from the game, got rid of him. And again, he's gone. We did the other team a favor as well by removing him, because now if they feel like they need to retaliate, hopefully we've taken that away, because we've that player's gone. That problem is out of the game. So for stuff like this, that's not a talking to. That's not a, well, maybe keep him in the game. No, we've got to get that. Screw did a great job, got him. And again, just remember, even though it's personal foul, it's after the ball went dead. So into the run was right here. Flagrant, announced it flagrant personal foul. Disqualified this player, and then moved up 15 yards from there. Had that been live ball, you could have had a different situation. If that runner's going this way and he just stomps somebody or kicks somebody on the ground, well, now potentially we need a flag, and that's it's still gonna tack on from the end of the run, but it would be a live ball foul. So just keep that in mind. Personal fouls aren't treated the same as unsportsmanlike that we talked about earlier. So just keep that in mind and let us know when we're talking about these fouls that we do know that. But again, good job. This kind of stuff we can't have, and when we see it, we've got to get this 100% of the time. We've got to get that, and I'm telling you, you get it. You might feel bad about having to remove a player from the game, but I'm telling you, you shouldn't. He chose to do that on his own, and we've got to get that problem out of the game, or else it'll just spiral again. Like I said, it'll spiral out of control. So, good job, guys. All right, here's a fun one to end on. Real quick, talk about this. So we're fourth and they got to get it to 30. So 4th and 18, maybe. I think we're snapping from the 12. It looks like maybe the 11, 12, somewhere in there. So 4th and 18. From the 12, remember they got to get to the 30. So I want you to watch this plays out. Snap, kick, block, up, right back to them. And here we go, we're off the races. So pretty good play, gets stopped just short. I mean, just short. What, 2 yards short? Yeah, by the time he comes, yeah, right about 2 yards. About 2 yards short of it. So he gets pretty close. But what I will say, a great job here coming and getting this spot, and the crew talking about what we had. So let's back it up again. We'll just talk a little bit about the rules. So in this case, snap, kicks blocked. In this case, pretty obvious. Again, remember, we snapped from the 12. We're well behind the line of scrimmage. Remember, the rule allows for K on a kick. That was a legal kick now. On a legal kick, if they recover the ball behind the line of scrimmage, they can advance. They can catch it and run, which he did. They can catch it and kick it. He can catch it and throw it, or he can just follow him. In this case, he chose to run. Smart move. Takes off, and I'll be damned, he almost gets it. But again, I want to end on this one. It's a play you don't usually see, but a good job by the crew of sticking with it. Not having an inadvertent whistle or having some crazy thought in their head that this will be dead. But clearly behind the line where we get into some trouble, which we had a clip a while back, is when that ball is recovered. Let's say it got tipped and landed right at the 12. Then, again, a reason why we hold the line of scrimmage on kicks is we need to know, did the kicking team or receiving team, that matter, where was that ball touched? And where they possession? In this case, if K gets it behind the line of scrimmage, which they did, he ran, he almost got it. So the only thing we have here is a turnover on downs. Had he got those extra 2 yards and got to the 30, perfectly legal, would have been a first down. In this case, he's a little bit short, so what it winds up as is a turnover on downs, and we moved on. But just wanted you to see it. Kind of unusual it works out like this, but it does bounce right to him, and And again, good job by the crew here. But when crazy stuff like this happens, let's just make sure we slow it down. We communicate with each other. We go through everything. We get all the information before we, because we're going to have both coaches on both sidelines telling us it's one thing, it's this, it's that, trying to convince you that they should have the ball. But biggest thing, communication. Slow down. Let's talk about what we had in this case. Everything was legal, short of the line of game, turnover and downs, first down the other way. So great job, crew. All right, that's it for this week. Good stuff again, guys. We get into it. Be good dead ball officials. Show good presence. Please communicate any problems you have with players to the coaches. Let them try and address it before we have to address it by penalizing for unsportsmanlike, or some kid throws a punch and we end up having to eject them when we could have, communicated that with the coach. He could have set them down. He could have handled it. But again, just be mindful all the time. Don't turn your back. Don't take anything for granted. Especially if it starts getting chippy. Be good dead ball officials and work it so that we're not having to write down numbers during the fight. So, with that in mind, guys, please, keep working hard, studying the rules, watching these, and above all, stay safe.